This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on the highest civilian award of Bhutan and other awards conferred to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The participants are Ashok Sajjanhar, former diplomat, and Simran Sodhi, journalist.
Today we are discussing the award that has been conferred on Prime Minister Narendra Modi by the Bhutanese government. It is the highest civilian award awarded by the Bhutanese government, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also the first foreign head of government to receive this award. Ambassador Sajjanhar, when we see this award which has been given today, and also the fact that Prime Minister Modi has contributed immensely to the India-Bhutanese relationship, he has also visited Bhutan twice, and this has also led to a steady increase and strengthening of the bilateral ties. How do you, in view of the India-Bhutan ties, see this award today?
I think Prime Minister Modi has accorded very high priority to relations with Bhutan. You would recall, Simran, the listeners would also recall that when Prime Minister Modi took the office in May 2014, the first country that he visited was Bhutan. Now, our relations with Bhutan have always been historical, civilizational, based on common themes of culture, civilization, history, and relations have always been excellent. So there were a number of eyebrows that were raised at that time as to why did he choose Bhutan to be the first country of his visit. Very soon we came to know, because in 2017 we had the Doklam crisis in which China was trying to gain access and nibble away at some territory from Bhutan, and India moved in. So I think strengthening and nurturing relations with Bhutan has been a very important element of faith as far as Prime Minister Modi is concerned. He has, as you mentioned, visited Bhutan twice, once when it was the first time that he went there, and then during the second term when he came back to office in 2019. Then it was the External Affairs Minister whose first visit was to Bhutan. So I think Bhutan has always got a very important place as far as India's foreign policy is concerned. And I think the recognition today, the decision today of award of the highest national honor by the Bhutanese government, announced by the Bhutanese king, is a reflection of the very steady interests and efforts that have been made by Prime Minister Modi in person and his government in general to strengthen relations with Bhutan and to keep it on an even keel. There are such a large number of changes that are taking place in geopolitics, in the overall geopolitical architecture in the region and in the world, but relations between India and Bhutan have continued to be constant and have continued to be steadfast.
Ambassador Sajjanhar, we also saw that earlier this year, vaccine Maitri was one area where India sent a lot of vaccines to Bhutan as the epidemic hit the world. And also when you look at India's neighborhood first policy, which has been grown in strength under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, do you feel that the neighborhood first policy, the success is when you see a relationship as strong as India and Bhutan? And also India's actions under Vaccine Maitri has contributed strongly to the strengthening of this relationship.
You would recall that we started our own vaccination program on the 16th of January this year. And on 20th of January, the first day when we started shipping out our vaccines to our neighboring countries and to our strategic partners, friendly countries, then Bhutan and Maldives were the first countries to receive the shipment of the Covishield vaccines from India. So that definitely would have sent out a very strong message. You would remember on that occasion, the Bhutanese Prime Minister had come out openly and said that, of course, countries can be generous when they have enough to meet their own demands, to meet their own requirements, and then they share what they have with other countries. But for India, which is still undergoing its own vaccination program, for it to take out the vaccines and to share them with the neighbors, that is real generosity. And the Prime Minister himself on that occasion was at the airport to receive this consignment of the vaccines that had been sent by India to Bhutan. So that definitely is an element that would have gone, that India has stood by Bhutan in times thick and thin, in times of difficulty, in times of trouble. India has always come to the assistance, to the support of Bhutan. So I'm sure all this, whatever has happened, how the relations have evolved, how the relations have developed since 2014 till now, that would have been kept in perspective when the Bhutanese government and the Bhutanese king decided to confer this highest award on Prime Minister Modi today.
Master Prajanhar, we've also seen that India and Bhutan, if notwithstanding the historical and the old traditional ties, are also now cooperating in new areas. We have space and IT and fintech. One, how do you see this cooperation, which is going beyond what has there been the traditional areas of cooperation? And do you feel that as time goes by, this extension that we are now exploring future areas of cooperation lends it further strength?
Absolutely. I think India has always treated Bhutan with the utmost respect. And I think that is what is really appreciated also by Bhutan, that notwithstanding the fact that it is a small country, small area in terms of population, it is much smaller, but it has received always the highest respect and consideration and support by India. You are very right that in the past there have been the traditional areas of friendship and partnership between the two countries, whether it is India is investing in Bhutan for hydropower generation, and all that hydropower is then taken by India, imported by India at rates which are very attractive as far as Bhutan is concerned. It has never tried to interfere in the internal affairs of Bhutan. Now, of course, as things are opening up, Bhutan is also a member of the UN organization. It has its own foreign representation in a number of countries. So India is collaborating with it in newer areas of cooperation, whether it is IT, it is helping in building infrastructure, it is in the areas of digitization, of fintech, of space. So all the new areas in which Bhutan has an interest, and of course in the area of education, capacity development, inviting young professionals from Bhutan into India to develop their own skills and their own capacities. So I think India is meeting the felt needs of Bhutan and taking them forward rather than trying to impose anything on Bhutan, because Bhutan is very particular in as far as protecting its environment is concerned. It doesn't want to engage in any sort of economic activity which will not be green in nature, which will have any harmful impact on its ecology, on its environment. India is very respectful of Bhutanese needs, and it supports and promotes it in every way that it possibly can.
Master Prajanhar, when we talk of India-Bhutan ties, one country whose mention, especially of late, has been creeping in is China. We also feel that apart from Bhutan, we see the Chinese trying to grow their imprint in the South Asia region, in India's neighborhood. And we've also seen the Chinese overtures towards Bhutan. Do you feel that India, despite the fact that we share a very long, historical, close ties with Bhutan, is there something that India needs to worry about or to look out for as far as the China factor is concerned in the India-Bhutan relationship?
China is trying to reduce India's influence in its neighborhood. We've seen it, whether it was earlier Maldives, it is Sri Lanka, it is Bangladesh. But I think we really have to depend on our very strong civilizational links and ties with our neighboring countries, and give them the confidence that the relationship between India and those countries is for their benefit and for their advantage. The other point that I would like to make is that China has settled its land boundaries with 12 out of the 14 countries with which it has land borders. The only two countries with which it has not settled its borders are Bhutan and India. And it has been having discussions with the Bhutan of late. Bhutan also has a very mature leadership from king of the country. And we have also seen that of late democracy has come into the country, and that although it is in a nascent stage, but that is also developing in a very healthy and a very robust manner. So we feel is that China uses the fact that it has not settled its borders with India and Bhutan. It uses them as pressure points. and to get maximum advantage from these countries. But Bhutan would have seen what is the situation of other countries which have gone into debt traps, whether it is Pakistan under the China-Pakistan economic corridor. There is empirical evidence from a large number of countries. In Sri Lanka, we have seen it is the Hambantota port which had to be given up to China for 99-year lease, and several thousand acres of land had also to be leased, had to be given to China. So Bhutan would be seeing all these developments and making its own decisions. But India has to focus on the century and millennia old relations and understanding and confidence and friendship with these countries and try to help them in every way that it is possible. And this is what we have been doing, whether it is with Bhutan, whether it is with Bangladesh, I think with many of these countries, even with Maldives. What we have done is, earlier there used to be a feeling that there is a big brother attitude as far as India is concerned. But particularly over the last 7-8 years or so, we have followed a hands-off policy. So whenever elections take place in any country, whether it was Maldives, whether it was Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India has kept aloof and allowed the people of those countries to take their own decision. And I think this has yielded rich dividends as far as we are concerned, because then India is not seen as a big dominating brother, so to say, but a country which has the benefit and has the welfare of that country at heart. And so there is a relationship of equals between the two. And we have seen, notwithstanding the encroachment into these countries by China, that India's relations with these countries have continued to get stronger, get more robust, and get more diverse and get more dynamism in them.
We see the gesture that has been extended by the Bhutanese government in conferring the highest civilian award on Prime Minister Modi. Do you feel that this is also a hallmark and somewhere a testament to the fact that the Prime Minister has been able to achieve this personal chemistry with many world leaders? It signifies not just the India-Bhutan relationship, it also signifies the Prime Minister's own standing and his bonds that he has developed with various countries and leaders across the world.
Of course, he promotes India's interest in all the international relations that we seek to nurture and we seek to promote. But I think it is the Prime Minister's persona and his own style of relating to the foreign leaders and to foreign countries, basically giving them the confidence that India is a reliable, is a strong, is a credible partner for them. And that is why we see over the last few years, Prime Minister Modi has been honored with a large number of awards from several countries. Just to give you an example, we had the highest award from Russia, which was given to Prime Minister Modi, known as the Order of St. Andrew the Apostle Award. This was given in 2019 for the great services rendered by Prime Minister Modi in strengthening relations between India and Russia. Then a few years before that, we had Saudi Arabia giving their highest honor, known as the Order of Abdulaziz Al Saud. This is the highest honor awarded to non-Muslim dignitaries, and Prime Minister was awarded this in 2016. The other big power from West Asia, the United Arab Emirates, they also gave their Order of Zayed Award, again the highest civilian honor of the UAE, which was given to Prime Minister Modi in 2019. And I could go on and on. There are awards by the governments of Bahrain, also by the United States, by Palestine, by Afghanistan, by Maldives. So a large number of countries have come forward, and of course, many international organizations have also come forward to recognize the huge achievements and the huge strides that Prime Minister Modi has taken in a large number of areas.
With these comments, we bring today's discussion to an end. Thank you.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on highest civilian award of Bhutan and other awards conferred to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The participants were Ashok Sajjanhar, former diplomat, and Simran Sodhi, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsttalks@gmail.com.